found out about the head falling thanks to the bug. Now, if you're the one who caused it to fall, and the double, or body double, was crushed to death, that settles it. You're the culprit. You successfully carried out your revenge. Congratulations. All the pieces of the puzzle are now in place, and as Mr. Edgeworth would say, the logic fits. Now then, any rebuttals? Oh, right. Okay, on to the final testimony. The murder of the double. Manipulating humans into fighting with each other. Sounds just like me, right? I did the same thing to Knightley and Blaze. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? Oh, okay. Do you understand now? The body double's real killer is, or who the body double's real killer is. The truth that I provided them with gave them a big motive for murder. Get it? Those who tried to kill each other because of the truth you're so fond of. Impossible. Hey, you detectives over there, hurry up and arrest this murderer. What's wrong? Why aren't you moving? Damn. I thought so. Just admit it, in the end, aren't you all the same as Blaze and the body double? You ignore the prime suspect and come after me without any evidence. How easily it can be to distort it can be distorted to best suit your needs, this law you all believe in. That is by no means true. If you're not going to arrest anyone, maybe I should have a talk with the policeman outside. If I tell them that John Marsh is the killer, they'll be forced to take action. Simon Keyes, your testimony isn't over yet. Asshole. Really? I figured you'd try to stop me, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any evidence, do you? Which means there's no chance for you to win, right? Well, if you still plan to stop me, you should be prepared to take on this much risk. Ooh, that's a hefty health bar. What, that much? It's only natural. After all, the fate of the true culprit, John Marsh, is at stake here. Hey, Miles. Why don't you take a nice deep breath? Mr. Shields? At times like this, you should take a breather and think back. Defense attorneys always remain calm in a pinch and smile in the face of danger. The point of contention between your logic and his claims lies in the body double's escape route. How's about, for example, we think of it like this. What's important isn't whether or not the body double got on the balloon, but rather, if we were to assume he did, what circumstances would have allowed for that? Turn my thinking around. Of course! Hey, his father. Well, all I'm doing is a cheap imitation of your old man. Did it help? Circumstances that would have allowed the body double to get on the balloon. That's right, the body double only had a large build, but he also had a gun. In spite of that, no traces of sleeping drugs were found in his system. Which means it can't be. Mr. Edgeworth, are you ready yet? Hope you haven't forgotten about this. Yeah. This is bad. I must break his testimony somehow. Alright, the murder of the double. Fighting each other sounds just like me, right? Right, so just pressing damage me again? What, does it damage me? So you manipulated your body double, the body double, and John to your will. You seem rather persistent about that, aren't you? Very much so. I am an animal tamer after all, and this isn't the greatest... isn't the greatest animal in the world, man. Bloody cat. I can't get over it. I just tell people the truth, in order to help them get revenge. You can tell I'm getting tired, I'm getting worse and worse at reading. They should all be thanking me. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm kinda scared. Steel yourself, Kay. One who sows seeds of revenge is a jest. This is an opponent we must stop at all costs. The sins of the past are scary. So scary. You'll never see your retribution coming. Okay. Did the same thing to Nightly and Blaze. So you still intend to insist that you were not directly involved to the very end? Right, I never dirtied my own hands. I just like to watch. As they hate and kill each other, never realizing that they were being manipulated all along. Spectating from afar. Just like you did 12 years ago. You mean the SS5 incident? That's so funny. If I remember correctly, all your father's hard work amounted to nothing. Wouldn't you normally call someone like that incompetent? Grr. You... Agent Lang, restrain yourself. Damn it! We don't know the conclusion your father arrived at. However, we are here now because we chased after his footsteps. Sorry to interrupt your little moment, but I don't believe that that kind of idealism will solve anything. Besides, at any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. That's the only way the body double... the double could have got off the tower. Well, I suppose that was the case, even if I had carried the body double down. What's the problem with that? So you admit it, you did carry the body double. Let's not make a fuss over absurd opinions, Mr. Edgeworth. That's just not like you. You think the body double held me at gunpoint and asked me to go on a sightseeing joyride? There's no way that could have happened. And you know that full well, don't you? It's possible you negotiated with him by using the information about John as a bribe. But he shot at me, remember? There's just nowhere we could negotiate. In that case, what if you used sleeping drugs and transported him while he was knocked out? There were no sleeping drugs. Allow me to ask, have they detected any traces of sleeping drugs from the body? It's no good. I can't find any openings. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there something more interesting we should be talking about? Double was crushed by a monster's head, right? That is a monster's head. John was not the one who killed the body double. He was crushed by a monster. Quit clowning around. This isn't like you at all. Oh, I get it. Since John is supposed to understand the heart of a monster, the one who understands the heart of a monster, or of monsters, is you. Not even I have monsters for friends, you know? Stop being so modest. Didn't you have one very important friend? The monster you control at will. Simon Keyes, you're the one who killed the body double. That's... ah... the lion balloon. Wait, crushed him underneath it? The monster made of cloth that expands when filled with hot air. It suits you quite well, wouldn't you agree? Sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You could have fixated... you've been fixated on your claim that you manipulated John and the body double. Probably because this is an impossible fantasy of yours. After all, even an animal tamer cannot tame the dead. The body double had already been murdered while he was on the roof. And the murder weapon was the balloon you were in. I see. Although it floats in the air, that balloon still weighs several hundred pounds. When the double threatened you on the rooftop, you immediately came up with a plan to defend yourself. And that plan was to crush him with your balloon. Woo! Whether the body double wanted to get on, or that he was carrying a gun, none of that matters. Because what you carried in your balloon was the body double's corpse. Hold on a second, Mr. Edgeworth. You're saying the double was killed on the rooftop 2 nights ago? Well, that simply doesn't match up with the time of death. What did you say? That's not like you at all, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a good look at the autopsy report. The time of death was around 11 PM last night. Oh, shit. Last night? That's right. The very night that Mozilla's head fell. Well, Johnny boy, come on, how about telling us the truth? You killed your father, right? I know the feeling. You hated him, didn't you? Your father who left you all alone forever. You're wrong. I had no idea that guy was my dad. Not this again. Didn't I tell you... Didn't I personally tell you myself? Was my logic wrong? Mr. Edgeworth, allow me to thank you once again for chasing down Blaze and Patricia and bringing them both to ruin. My revenge was a success, all thanks to your logic. If only the time of death matched up, then my logic would fit. Perhaps he did something to throw off the time of death. What's more, Dane Gustavia. Was it? You even took down the culprit of the IS-7 incident. Dane Gustavia and the IS-7 incident. That's it. Gustavia killed Dover and hid his body in a block of ice. Oh! So he... froze his body or something? So Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. If the time of death had coincided with the tea party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected. That is correct. God, they're very similar. It's a shame that I didn't get to witness his destruction. How can you say that? Wasn't Mr. Gustavia your father, Simon? I'm scared, I'm so scared. Mr. Roland keeps asking me about that day. Daddy, help me. Why won't you come save me? Is it because I broke my promise with you and didn't eat your sweets? Couldn't care less. My father left me all alone. Even if we share the same blood, that man is not my father. I hate to say it, but like father, like son. You're the spitting image of him, Simon. The father you hated so much. Huh? What are you talking about? It must have been fate. By sheer coincidence, you just happened to use the exact same method your father did. To throw off the victim's time of death. When we rescued him from the refrigerated warehouse near the harbour, pal. The refrigerated warehouse. You're saying that I threw off the time of death? How would I have done that? The answer lies in where you hit the body double's body. This is the place you used to hide the body. It was Sunshine Warehouse, I believe. Throwing off the time of death by freezing the body, along with John's kidnapping. It seems that everything is coming together. Kidnapping? Why are we going back to that? I don't know a thing about it. I forget, John was confined in a refrigerated warehouse. That's right, you kept the body double's corpse in that very same warehouse. 18 years ago, your father hid a body in the same way. What? My father? The one who abandoned me did the same thing? Who would have guessed that both father and son would use the same method? Stop it, don't lump me in with that guy. My father, I'm nothing like him. There's not a single connection between us. Ooh. You may think so, but even now, your bond with Mr. Gustavia still remains. Didn't you say once before, I don't like sweets? That may have come from the shock of losing your father. Don't you think? You guys have no idea what you're saying. Even if you deny your father, aren't your thoughts and actions the same? Particularly, your belief of sacrificing others to protect yourself. And finally, your crimes were brought to light just as his were. Breakdown? Oh yeah! Oh. Just kidding. I don't know anything about that warehouse. I had nothing to do with the kidnapping, after all. In order to threaten Judge Courtney, it's clear that you partook in the kidnapping. Objection. How scary. Those who get involved with you will be charged with all sorts of crimes. In the end, there's no evidence for the instigation and for the kidnapping, none at all. Well, what? Are you gonna forge some evidence, just like Blaze and the rest? I'll do nothing of the sort. I can't let him provoke me. You always say, I'll pursue the truth no matter what, right? Huh. Don't you mean only the truth that's most convenient to you? After all, that's how the police pull the wool over the eyes of those without power. And that's why my revenge was necessary. None of you can catch me. Not Patricia, not Blaze, and not even you. Mr. Edgeworth, at this rate, isn't there something, anything we can do? Even though all my logic points to this man. I just need evidence. Even a single piece of evidence will suffice. Well, it's been a fun show, but it looks like it's time for the curtains to close. So, if you'd like, why don't you come and see my next performance? I'll let you, if you admit defeat. Oh my. Ooh. Who was that? Gumshoe? Whoa, alright. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth. Gummy, where'd you go? I was doing the job that I'm able to do, pal. Detective Gumshoe. Your report, please. I did a quick investigation, sir. About the warehouse John was at. The refrigerated warehouse is currently being rented by the Very Big Circus, just as Mr. Edgeworth said. So, it's finally here. Our trump card. Well done, Detective. Now then, Mr. Keys. There must be some mistake. Maybe it was something to do with the circus. Or maybe it has something to do with the circus. You see, indeed, we are not well informed with the affairs of the circus. In that case, why don't we get your boss's opinion on this? Regina? We are renting a refrigerated warehouse to store the animals' food, but I don't know much about the place. After all, I let Simon handle everything. Curse you! Simon? How scary. What a shame! It seems your desperate actions after the crime were in vain. If the body was found in the warehouse, suspicion would have fallen on you, the one in charge. That's why you specifically moved the body back to the Grand Tower, wasn't it? However, us finding John confined at the warehouse was a fatal mistake on your part. Our resident great thief and detective are both rather exemplary. What's wrong? I can even tell through your face paint that you're looking pale. It's not over yet, Mr. Edgeworth. Your logic is missing the most important piece of evidence. Oh, please do tell. Isn't it obvious? Evidence that I killed the body double with a balloon. You can't present it, can you? After all, there's no such evidence that could possibly exist. Pardon me. The evidence, it exists. What do you say? If Mr. Keys murdered the victim, traces of the murder should still remain here. On the balloon. Come on. It should become clear once we examine the basket of this balloon. The balloon again? Didn't you already find the bullet hole? There's no way you'll find anything else there. It'll be fine. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth is a hero who always finds the truth no matter what he's up against. That's right, pal. Of course it's gonna be fine. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of more impossible situations than I can count. Miles, I believe in you too. But more importantly, I'm sure your old man watching over you believes in you as well. Yeah! Miles Edgeworth, calm down and think. You're just one step away from the perfect proof. The body double was killed by this balloon. The proof lies in the traces left on the basket. Simon Keyes, it's time for you to atone for your crimes. I'll see it with my own eyes. The moment this past case is settled once and for all. Please, Prosecutor Edgeworth, deliver the final blow to this unforgivable person. This is the final piece of evidence that proves your crimes. What traces were left on the balloon that crushed the victim? It would be from the bouquet. Here it is. We had the stain on his, chest, so, you know. When John found the body, a bouquet of lion lilies was there as well. Lion lilies. The flowers from Zheng Fa that represent the bond between parent and child. That's your evidence? Surely they must be buried under a mountain of garbage by now. Moreover, the one who threw it away was John himself. That's not much of a bond now, is it? That language of flowers stuff has nothing to do with this. Calm down, John. Certainly you may have thrown the flowers away. However, I believe those emotions remain as strong as ever. Those bonds will surely protect you from that man, in the form of my final piece of evidence. What the heck are you talking about? Those flowers were crushed. Ergo, they must have come into contact with the murder weapon. Perhaps we'll find the very same pollen still stuck to the basket of your balloon. No way, no way, no way. You guys examined the basket just a few moments ago. If there had been any yellow pollen stuck on there, wouldn't you have noticed it then? Mr. Keyes, evidence is not restricted to what you can see with the naked eye. What? Emma? Yes. Would you perform one more scientific investigation for us? Leave it to me. The balloon's basket, right? Don't say I have to do this again. Okay, good. Ah, a reaction. This is clearly pollen from a yellow flower. We'll find out soon enough whether or not it's from the same flower. What? Ah, so it was crushed by the balloon, of all things. What a way to go. I'd say this proves that the body double's death was caused directly by your own hand. No way, that can't be. You crushed the body double to death on the roof of the tower. Ugh. Then you retrieved the body and hid it in the warehouse. Why did he have to go through the trouble of retrieving the body? 2 nights ago he knew that a separate incident would occur at the tower. Ah, right, yeah. Miss Crane's murder. Precisely, leaving the body there would have disrupted his plans. I see, but even so, he couldn't leave the body in the circus warehouse either. Exactly, so the next day, when he was bringing the body back to the tower once again, he saw the small fire John started, which caused the Muzilla's head to fall. Was that when the idea came to you? Your plan to pin the crime on John? You made it look like the murder weapon was the fallen head. Such foul, cowardly behaviour. For that reason, you carried the double's body in the balloon and lowered it to the film lot. At that time, the figure of the body double being lowered down by a rope was captured by John's video recording. Damn, it was all... You saw through it all? Damn it, damn you. You manipulated animals, you manipulated people, and you manipulated cases. Almost as if you were a king. However, it's now all come to an end. Simon, the animals have gotten angry. Even Money and Ashtique. You never thought of them as your friends at all. How sad. Oh, bloody hell. Damn it! Don't you look at me with those eyes. It's about time you went back to being a mere clown. Break down. I'm fitting into your pitiful Jester's act. Oh, damn. Stay away, get away from me! Stop it, please stop it. Daddy, help me. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I don't know anything. I didn't do anything bad. They were the bad ones, weren't they? Horace, why? Why did you stop me? If he hadn't done that, Couldn't even trust the police. Nobody would help me. Except for Dogen. But that man. Back then, he saved me. The only one who's helped me was Dogen, so I use everyone else. What's wrong with that? Stop it, don't come any closer. Stop! Ooh! Oh my god. Oh! Holy shit, he got fucking decked by a gorilla. My goodness. It seems the game is finally over. It's the killer! Shelley the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, I must thank you. You've exposed the true identity of the mastermind. Now, I am free to... What? Drawing a gun would be most inadvisable. Stay where you are and do not move. I don't have a gun. You do have a gun, do you not? You intended to draw and fire it without anyone noticing. You must have taken it from the body double when he killed him. This man has betrayed his bond of trust with me. He would have me kill the president while knowing full well he was the body double. Lying about a target is an extremely dangerous thing to do to an assassin. Not having all the cards on the table can seriously jeopardize an assassination. However, what is even more unforgivable is your deception and your attempt to manipulate me. The time has come for your retribution. Stop! Holy shit. You are... It's been far too long, Shelley. Please step aside. That man is my prey. I must ask you to spare his life. Please permit this young acolyte to receive his proper punishment in prison. And if I refuse? His is the first life I have saved. I will not allow it to be taken away so easily. You saved a life. The assassin Sir Dogen. Ironic, is it not? That I, the one who has taken countless lives, and making a plea for this young one's life. He saved my life. Just as I have saved his. Before I knew it, I grew quite fond of the lad. You may laugh at me as much as you wish. However, I must ask that you spare the life of the boy. From one assassin to another. Please make this allowance. I understand. If you are willing to go that far. You have my thanks. I am in your debt. No need for thanks. I simply felt there would be no merit in a fight to the death with you. That is all. And with that, I must take my leave. Damn it, wait! No, pardon me. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I must thank you as well. It was necessary for this young acolyte to be put in his place. And that you have done well. Now then, it's time for me to return to my humble cage, surrounded by iron bars. Right, Anubis? Right, boy? Oh, look who's here. Oh, it's John. Hey, priest guy. You killed my dad, right? Indeed. I am not one to forget those I have slain. I see, you must despise me, boy with horns. In that case... Ugh. John. Do not panic, I simply lent the boy with horns my knife. Take that knife... Oh dear, and run it through my throat. A single stab should do it. I've long grown weary of my wooden carvings. Revenge? John, don't do it! John! Please, I beg of you. Until just now, I had intended to seek revenge, no matter how many years it took. Revenge? Revenge is good, really good. All your pain and suffering slips away. Everything becomes numb, and you'll feel nothing. Yeah, you may be right. I thought about that while I listened to what you had to say. John! But the only one who would be satisfied with revenge would be myself, right? If I became a murderer, my mom would go through even more pain and suffering. My friends from the movie too, and all those people who care about me as well. The boy with horns says some interesting things. That's right, I finally get it now. I'll never forgive you, but I'm not the one who should punish you. After all, isn't that what my mom and that prosecutor guy are here for? John, you just said some really profound stuff just now. Kay, perhaps you should study up a little more yourself. Is that so? Well then, young one. It's time for us to depart. But where to? The prison, of course. That place will be our home. Our home? My god. Is that it then? I guess so. Holy shit, and with that, the case that involved and affected so many people came to a close.